Divinity, the co-op game from Kickstarter, is finally here. Let's talk about it. All right, everybody, let's talk about Divinity, Original Sin, the board game by Larian Studios. I'm not sure what these guys have done in the past. All I do know is that this game took a major overhaul because I looked at the original design for the game to what was now, and it's obviously very, very different. And on top of that, it took, I don't know, 4 years to get this game. I don't know, it's really, really long time. But when it came in, if you want to watch my unboxing, at the end of the video, I'll put a link up for that. But, the thing had to be like 50 pounds. I don't know. Like I said in my review of that, of the unboxing, it's very possible they overproduced this game for literally no reason. So anyway, let's jump into. I'm going to play through one of the tutorial missions, and then let's come back and we'll talk about it. All right, let's jump into it right now.
All right, how we doing, everybody? We are going to play some Divinity. This is actually the second tutorial mission because I completed the first one, but it was only one battle and it was over. So there wasn't really even much for me to put on video. So I'm going to try the second one. And so first of all, you got to build all these. So these come with the dials that you have to put, and then there's these connectors here. And mine didn't come with one of the connectors, so I got to reach out to him, or I got to the company, or I got to find connectors, which is a pain in the ass. Somebody told me that they watched my unboxing video, which I'll put a link to the end on the end of this one. And he said a couple of his figures were missing. So, and plus, when you put the villains in here like this, they don't come with the figures for these NPCs. So instead, you get these standees. And that makes absolutely zero sense to me, considering the fact that it came with 2 huge boxes of figures. So, but all they did was make the figures super big. Check out my unboxing. But all of the little characters, don't come with this. You only can play with the standee. So, and then when you see how we play here in a second, I'm going to do like a wrap up portion of this video as well. Final thoughts. But I don't know, because I just got this game in, and I got in OrQuest pretty much at the same time. And I haven't done I did an unboxing for OrQuest, but I didn't do a playthrough video. But I can tell you that the battle system there, I find a lot better. This whole cooldown thing doesn't really work for me. But we'll go through it and you can see how it works. But let's talk about setup here real quick. Because the setup here only came, like it comes with a dex that says don't open, and it has the tutorial dex here. And it comes with 4 characters that then we're going to open up. Like on the next page here, you can see that it opens up to more characters. I'm also not really a fan of the book thing going on here. I prefer having a board, and I kind of like how, even though I sold Trudvang already, I prefer Trudvang with this stuff. I'm not really a fan of the baggy situation, But at least with Trudvang, we could change the location just by adding cards to it. And I didn't have this big monster book for no reason. And the amount of cards, like again, when you see my video for that, you'll see it, but I'll show it to you guys real quick. The amount of cards that come with this game, I didn't even open this stuff, is insane. I mean, Trudvang has a very similar thing where you're taking out story cards and things to that effect, and I like that system a lot better than I do here. I mean, the figures are okay. I kind of like the figures, but again, we're only working, with 2 figures because everything else is going to be here except for the bosses. That's the only thing that comes with the other stuff is just the bosses. All right, so let's talk about the setup. So I switched the page over, and it shows me all of these locations here, and I'm going to read this as well. And again, it's just a tutorial, so there's really no spoilers here. So I put this token here on top of the locked path. It comes with 4 of these dashboards. So I have both of those out, and the 2 characters I chose because I'm playing solo player, so I can play with a minimum of 2 characters. So these 2 characters, the ones I'm playing with Sabil and Fame. And so here's the character for this one, is the thing I just picked up. And what it shows you on here is the amount of, I'm trying to get the glare out of here, the amount of action points we have, the amount of health she has. This is her level. This is how many of these tokens we get, which allow us to re-roll things. And then it tells us that we get 1 skill. Now, I don't know if that's random because the little skills here in the beginning of the book, it told me which ones to pick. So this one's called the Pawn. On your turn, flip this to move up to 2 spaces at no action point cost. And then, so that's all the information on here. She's an outlaw, rogue, and a corpse eater. I guess when she's really hungry. I don't know. That's kind of gross. Is that still considering a cannibal? I don't know. When you defeat a boss, you may learn 1 skill you meet the prerequisite for. Okay, that's her. And then Fane has basically the same exact stats, except he's a mystic and a scholar. He's also undead. So he doesn't have to take many showers, that's for sure. You are healed by poison damage. The first time you defeat an enemy each round, you may immediately return a face-down, non-source skill from the cooldown to your hand. Okay, so that's that. And then his thing here is after a minion rolls an attack against you, you may flip this to roll 2 blue die. If you roll any of that symbol, cancel the attack. So basically, I get to interrupt an attack and make a roll, and if I win, basically the roll by rolling that symbol, which is over here, then I can cancel the attack. And let me see the back of this. This is called sidestep, by the way. Flip this face up when you travel to a new location. All right, so you only have, you can only use it basically once per round. Now, also, I think there's a mistake here. So here is the rule book. All right, so this is this symbol. When anyone takes earth damage, they take +2 more. That's not what this says, which this one makes sense. This does not. So this is warm, and it says you take fire damage. So this is not the same thing. But meanwhile, on the other side, it says oily, and oily, when anyone here takes fire damage, they take 2 more. And here it's earth. So they screwed up this because oily makes sense that you'd have fire damage because you're igniting the oil. And then when the oil turns down, then you'd flip it, and then it would be warm, which would make the earth hot. That makes sense. But that's a printing error, I believe. So if you guys are playing on your own, let me know. All right, so let's jump right into this. So this is my board with time. Again, there's nobody here. And the only other thing I got was this healing potion. So she is a polymorph and a scoundrel. So it came with in the tutorial card stuck together. These 4 cards came with her. She also has this thick robes and this assassin's dagger that this allows you to defend against physical damage and magical damage. And that goes here. You see the thing matches here. And this is one hand, so it goes in my hand. And plus each one of them get this. After any dice roll you made by an origin, you may spend one of my little teardrop thing here to re-roll any number of dice, and I can only use that once because I'll be giving this up and I only have one. All right, she also can get invisibility and stuff like that, so I have an invisibility card, and then I also have the burning card for him because he does that kind of damage to it, and then it tells me what burning is. But at the end of your turn, they take 2 physical damage that goes through armor. When you take fire damage, you extend it. So this is their cooldown, and that would go there. But he is a pyrotechnic and a geomancer. So these are his 4 cards that came with his thing. And then he's got his traveling cloak, which again goes there. And he's also got a fire wand, which does fire damage. All right, so that's why I put the fire thing here. But there's a whole bunch of... so it's kind of like... what's the Mansions of Madness? So it's kind of like Mansions of Madness, where and you have different kinds of things that can go on your character, like there's poison and stuff like that. So anyway, there's a couple of stacks of those. All right, so let's go into the lower hold. So that's pretty much all the setup. And it also gives me a little thing here that goes to the rounds and stuff like that. So it's like my cheat sheet. All right, so the distinct sound, this is called a lower hold. A distinct sound of wood crackling fills the air as you make your way up the stairs. Something scrapes eerily across the bottom of the hull. So we're again on a ship. I'm a prisoner on a ship is basically the deal. But I just escaped and I beat up the guard who had 28 hit points. That was crazy. A sudden slam from below the water surface causes a surge of waves, and you realize whatever is attacking is doing it from the ocean. Take out the lower hold location cards, and those are right here. Okay, so we'll just plus this. Look how much space this takes up because of the cooldown thing here. Set the time tracker to 10 for 2 people, which is what I did. They're all 10 anyway, no matter how many people you're playing with. Place all origins on spot number 1. So I'm in the storage room. I have no idea why I'm in the storage room, but I am. Exploring the ship. While there are no enemies on the map, you can resolve and explore rounds to investigate different areas of the ship. The steps to resolve and explore round are listed on your player reference card. Okay, so explore. Each group of origins in a space together choose to either reveal a location card matching their space, or take any location card from the holding area. Well, right now we won't have anything in the holding area, so we'll have to take it from the deck. Resting. Remember that after a difficult combat, the party can take a rest round to recover before continuing to explore. The steps to resolve the rest round are listed on your player reference card, which, let's see. That's explore. Combat. Oh, rest round. Right here, it's on the back. If there are no enemies on the map at the start of the round, a party can rest in order, as far as turns. Each origin takes one turn to do any number of the following, then slides their cooldowns. Heal 2, revive, equip or store your new stuff. That's basically maybe in your pack. This is a potion that I got from beating the last thing. Use any one skill or item at no cost, and advance the time tracker. So that's resting. Holding area. If there are location cards in the holding area, which you would think that they'd put the holding area. Oh, I guess it's here. I see. Okay, so I can't have these here because that looks like it's in the holding area. So I'll put those over here, but there's the holding area. Okay, which is, again, backs right up into my thing there. Area during the explore round, you can decide to resolve one of them instead of exploring your space. See resolving previous revealed cards on the rulebook. The rulebook is 50 pages long, by the way. Just if you want to see what the... and there are some pages that have just all text. So it is a very, very long and involved rulebook. But yeah, it is 50 pages long, and I'm not even exaggerating. There's page 50. So it is extremely long. Finding loot. Any gold you find goes in the party's shared stash. The party can use it to buy items from the merchant during your interlude phase, which is when you leave the location. If you find an item while exploring, you or an ally in your space may immediately equip it or store it. If you replace one of your equipped items, you may store or discard the old one. See acquiring new items. Okay. So, locked path. The path to 5, which is here, is locked. Neither origin nor enemies may travel until you find the key. All right? And again, these little things here are for these. Okay, so when we find these, and only one thing can be on it at a time. Okay, so timed events. When the time tracker reaches a timed event, resolve the location card with the indicated letter. And what that means here is this D and E here. So when I get the time tracker goes down to this number 3 or this 0, then I have to read something in the cards. All right, so my movement... I should know where my movement is. Where is my movement? I think it's 3. Is that what? Maybe it's just a general number. I think it's just 3 and no. Maybe it's just 1. Oh, here. Move any number of spaces for one action point. Okay, that's what it is. Taunt, equip, trade, recover, and revive. Those are the things there. Okay, so I can move 1 space for 1 action point. And it doesn't say what explore costs me, but I guess... Explore action. If there are no enemies on the map at the start of the round, the party may explore. Okay. Maybe it doesn't cost any action. All right, so I'm going to move 1. I'm going to have them both move 1 just so they could be in the same space together in case we encounter any enemies. So let's do that. And again, I guess this is the covering for this. I could have explored where I was in. Let's do that. Let's not move. I didn't realize that I had thing actually telling me in the storage room. Okay, so I don't want to move out of the storage room if there's stuff there. All right, so storage room. A large crate blocks your path, which I guess is this way. One origin here must make a challenge roll to smash the box. And it's 3 white dice, which is like the normal challenge roll. Warfare plus 1 for warfare or 1 for two-handed. I don't think I have any of those. So it's purely just 3 die. All right, and I think that I have to roll the special thing. When you make a challenge roll, roll 3 white dice plus 1 bonus die per listed keyword. You have to count the number of explosion symbols. You roll, then flip this card to read your results. All right, so let's see what we get. 2. 0 to 2. You smash the box, breaking what's inside, but clearing the way. Place a... you smash the box, breaking what's inside, but clearing the way. Place a key on the path. Oh, that okay, so I did this early. So now it's open. You've unlocked a new path. You can now use it during exploration and combat. And if I had gotten 3 or more, I would gain 2 gold. But even if I had rolled 0, that would have done the same thing. Okay, so number 1 is officially finished. Okay. So now we will move into doing what I was going to do before, and that is move over here. And I think I keep going until I run, either I say the round is up, or I run out of actions. So, because I can hold on to actions until the next round, but there's no reason to do that at this point. All right, so now we're going to go into number 2. Explore round. Let me just check that real quick and see how they define round. Exploring a location, fighting enemies, encountering bosses. Game session. That's all set up. New location, game overview, playing through location. When you arrive at a location, you have a set number of rounds to explore, fight enemies, and discover a way to run out of time. If there are no enemies anywhere on the map at the start of the round, the party is exploring and can choose to either, if there are no enemies, okay. At the end of each round, the time tracker advances 1 space. Okay. And then it goes into, okay, so that is a whole round. That's really weird. So I did 1 action. And then start of a turn, resolve, start of turns, travel. You may move any distance and slide cooldowns, which I don't have. Combat rounds. End of round. At the end of each combat, explore a rest round. The time tracker ticks down. Okay. Reaching the exit. Where's the start of the round? Doesn't say. Then start the next round by determining if it was going to be explore, rest, or combat. But I think a new round, for more detail on tracking time, I think I get 4 more actions now. Health and damage, status effect, armor, undead, skills. It doesn't say anything about starting a new round. But I'm pretty sure I get those. I'm pretty sure I get the new actions. It doesn't say. Tracking time, continuing events, finishing a location. Doesn't say. Okay, but I think I get, maybe it's just at the start of combat. I know at the start of combat, my things tick up. So maybe I don't. I'll play it as if I don't, and there's nothing in there that tells me otherwise. All right, so this is a new round. So I am going to, which I don't know what happens now if I don't. I don't know. I would assume that I don't know, but it doesn't say. So, all right, so now it's going to be an explore. So I'm going to move my 2, and I'm going to take number 2 as the new round. Another shudder rocks through the ship. The panicked sounds of sailors come from above you. Flip this card. This way leads to the upper hold. You may go to the ship sinks cutscene 1 if you feel you understand exploration. Otherwise, place this card in the holding area. If you decide not to use this exit now, all right, so I can immediately end the whole location. Okay, well, let's not do that. And I can see here that there's an ambush. So let's see. So I have to be exiting this location means you've reached the end of the tutorial. All right, so we're just going to keep that there, and I will keep going, which means I am going to run out. So that's the end of that explore phase. So I move this down, and now I'm going to move 2. See, it's got to rejuvenate every round. Doesn't make any sense otherwise. So 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta play it as if I do. If that every round it rejuvenates. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's right. I can only max out at 8. Okay. All right. So now I just used 2. Okay. And now we're in here. So we're in the trap. We're in number 5. Okay, trap door. Not trap door, trapped door. Through the window of the heavily barred door, you detect a trap that protects a treasure test. Treasure test. One origin here may make a challenge roll to disarm the trap. If no one does, place this card in the holding area. Yeah, so I am a rogue. So I also am an outlaw. So I'm going to roll 4 white die and a red. I am not a mercenary, so I did not roll that one. All right, so I got 4. 4 plus. You disarm the trap with ease. Gain the traveling trinket from the tutorial pack. Traveling trinket. Let's see what it does. While this is equipped, before you make, and it goes in the ring section. Before you make a challenge roll, you may flip this face down to add +1 to the result. Flip this face up when you travel to a new location. Okay, so that's going to go here. Let me just see what happened if I went through 0. The trap goes off, though you were into the room. Each origin takes 5 damage. Gain the traveling trinket from it. So either way, I got the trinket. I would just take damage or not. Okay, so that would go back because this is completed. Okay, so let's put that down there. Okay, so now we're in a new round. This would go down, and I would go back up to 8. There are certain things like haste makes you go up to 10, which he can give me haste. So if I really wanted to, he could actually give me haste. And what this card says is this can only target origins. Your target gains haste 3. And so that means go in the 3rd cooldown. See, so the first one taught me combat, and the second one teaches expiration, I guess. So, but we're going to go into combat before we close this up. All right, so we're going to go 1, 2 here. So 1, 2, and 2. And now we're in the interrogation room. All right, we're in the lower hold. Okay, so interrogation room is 4. All right, a Magister guard questions a bloodied, half-conscious prisoner about the source powers. Flip this card. The prisoner lets out screams of anguish. As the Magister lashes out violently, he may not have long to live if the attack continues for much longer. Do you help the prisoner? If you do, resolve location A. If you don't, resolve location B. We are good people. What are you talking about? Plus, we just walked into the guard. Is just going to let us leave? Yeah, I don't think so. So, yes, we will fight in location A. So that is going to put this guy out. And the reason I knew he was right at the bottom is because those cards only for the first part of the tutorial. So this is a Magister guard. Wow, this guy's 28 and this guy's only 19 and he's got armor and he doesn't. Jeez. Okay. And we're going to put 1. I guess they go in fast. Okay. Fast means that they go before I do, which is why the Origin's name is here. You rush in to defend the helpless prisoner. Spawn the following enemies and place this card in the active combat stack. When all enemies are defeated or all origins are downed, flip this card. All right, and that is number 4, and that is going to be A. See what I'm saying? Okay, so we have the guy in A. We're in 4. We're also in 4. And basically what this says is how many to put into there. And it's only 1 no matter how many players. So this is basically 2, 3, and 4 players. And let's go with the Magister. So this is going to be his little thing here. And he has 19 health points. So we're going to flip this to 19. Okay, that's going to stay there. And he's going to attack us first. I guess I can take, well, I have 7 hit points. And here's my little tracker here. And so he's going to attack me first. And he can attack from range. He moves 3. Range, he has range of 0. So he has to be near me. And he only hits a single target. And to hit, he rolls 4 white dice, plus he does 3 automatic damage. All right. So 4 white dice. And so she takes 2 off. So whatever he rolls, I'm going to subtract 2. And the reason I'm going to hit her first is because she has invisibility. So he'd have to take the others once she goes invisible. Ouch. Okay. So I don't think he has anything for those. Oh, he hits the person with the least amount of hit points. That's pretty nasty. And I think this goes into effect if he rolls this. All right. So he's going to hit. They both have the same amount of hit points, so this is useless. Also, you would roll this die, but that's what this is. If we roll this, he hits the person with the least amount of hit points. That's what this is for. So these are useless. So he does 3. He does 6 damage to me. I'm going to take 4 damage. I'm going to be down to 4 hit points. Now I know why he doesn't have a whole lot of hit points, because he's hitting pretty hard. Okay. So I have 6 things here. And I am going to use I have to see if you're invisible, roll 2 blue instead. So I want to turn invisible. So I gain invisibility with this one. I have to use 1 for that. So I'm going to use 1. I gain invisible, which is here. And what that says is enemies ignore you when choosing targets. You are still affected by area attacks. When you take an action, slide invisibility 1 space. Okay, so invisibility is going to go to slot 3. This is going to go to slot 4 face up. Okay, so while this is face up, when blinded minions attack you, you may reroll 2 die instead of 1. Okay. All right, so that's 1 action there, and I guess I can keep going. So now I'm going to use this card, which is 2, and this goes in slot 1. These are my throwing knives. If you are invisible, roll 2 blue die instead of the white die. So I'm going to use 2 blue, plus I get 1 extra damage. For every level I am, I'm at level 1, so I automatically do 1 damage. For each little thing I have, reroll. All right, so I only did 3. So I did 4 damage to him. All right, so he's going to go down to 15. Okay. Then I'm going to use my knife for another action. And I'm going to roll 2 blue die with that. See, if I had rolled any of the symbols, I would have done an additional 3 damage. I didn't. When you make a challenge roll, that is for. All right, so now I friggin' hit the thing. Your target takes... okay, if you are invisible, set a die to any face. If you roll any of those symbols, your target gains poisoned to 2. All right, so apparently it's a poison dagger. And it goes on to number 2. And let's see what it says. At the start of your turn, take 2 damage. If you are undead, instead heal 2. You may heal to be heal or be healed unless you are undead. And what does it say on the other side? At the start of this is the minion side. At the start of this minion's turn, they take 2 damage if they are undead. Okay, it's the same thing, but one's for minions and one's not. So that'll go there in slot number 2. Okay. So let's do the rest of the damage here. After you attack with this, your target takes blank damage equal to the amount of symbols that you rolled. All right, so let me read that one more time. After your attack with this, okay. So I do 4 damage, and so he'll take 4 more. So now he's on 11. Okay. All right, maybe I'll just slide this down so you can see it better. There you go. Again, this takes up a lot of space. All right, so I have 2 more points left, and I think I can use so I don't want to use either one of these. But I wonder if I can just keep using my dagger until I run out of action points. Well, I don't want to go down to 0, so I will use my dagger. I'll stab him one more time. And again, I do another 4 damage. And he would also be poisoned again, but you can't even be poisoned twice. So then that's 4 more damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's at 7 points. All right, so I'm going to leave it as, I'm going to leave myself 1 point. And he's going to go. All right, so we should be able to take him out this turn. Poison Dart. If your target is on a space, is in your space, you can re-roll 1 die. So this gives me 4 blue die plus 1 and gives me poison damage. If you roll, your target gains poisoned 2, which again, he's already there. If you roll at least 2, you may also apply blinded. All right, so let's do that. And just so we were talking about the other cards here, where is it? Is it this one? Yeah, your target space becomes oily. So I can put an oily space there, and then I could use this card here. You may target an oily space with area attack. If you do, the target space becomes warm. See the difference? So it starts out as oily, then turns to warm, which is why that token makes no sense. All right. So here I'm going to do a poisoned, and I'm going to roll 4 blue plus 1. And this is going to go face down in number 2. See this card, oh, this is supposed to be face down. But this has a face up symbol. That's what that means. This does not. So 4 die plus 1. He's already poisoned, so he can't be poisoned again. So this is going to go down in slot number 2. And 4 die. That's pretty nasty. Was there a plus also? Plus 1. Oof, that really sucks. Well, since it is my tutorial, I'm going to re-roll. I'm going to re-roll all 3 of these. I wouldn't normally hit that, but all right, that's better. So I had plus 1, so 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 1 hit point left. Which I can technically leave him because he's going to die on his turn anyway. Right? At the start of the minion's turn, he takes 2 damage. Yeah, I'll just leave him. Did I take my... 2 for that? Yeah. Brought me down to 8. Okay. So I'm just going to leave him die to poison. So it's the start of his turn. And I think combat continues until either he dies or we die. And but that's the whole thing too, is that I don't know what happens when we run out of actions. So like she would only have 1 action left, so if he wasn't dead, do we go on into a second round? So that's my other question. So technically, if it's another round, this would go down, and then we would go back up, right? I don't know. I have to. I'm just going to go down anyway. Anyway, he's going to die from the poison. All right, so he comes out of here, and now the round would be over. So everything would shift down 1. I guess I'm still invisible. And this would come down here. And this would come down here. And we'd get 4 new ones because now round is over. That brings me up to 5. He would go up to 8. And we would now read the card. The back of this one. With the battle being over, you kneel by the wounded prisoner and offer aid. Reveal location card C. Okay. Wounded prisoner. A wounded prisoner lies on the floor. 1 origin here must make a challenge roll to attempt to heal him. No, I don't have any. Noble cultist mercenary. I don't have any of those. So it's only 3, but I can use my trinket to add 1. So let's see what I roll. Automatic success. A check icon means that if you have the listed keyword, you can immediately flip the challenge and choose the result without rolling. Oh, if I have the healing keyword. Oh, I see. So that would be 1, 2. I only got 2. You cannot help the prisoner. He dies. All right, I gained 3 gold for that. If I had passed, I'd gain a resurrection scroll. So, I don't know, I kind of want the gold anyway. All right, prisoner died. Sucks to be the prisoner. Okay, so this comes off. And now we're in a new exploration phase. Exploration round. So I would move 1, 2. And I know that says ambush. So I know I'm heading into another fight, which I don't know if I want to do, but let's go for it. Because she's hurt pretty bad. Because I could do a rest action and add 2. So what I could do is I can move 1 there. Move that down to 4. This down to 7. And then do a rest round. Or I can get the hell out of there by going up here. And just getting out. With how many? Yeah, we're on 48 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, let's do that. Let's just get out, and then I'll resolve number 2. Another shutter from the ship. Flip this card. Your way leads to the upper hold. You may go to the ship's sink cutscene 1 if you feel you understand exploration. Exiting the location means you've reached the end of the tutorial. Before resolving the next interlude phase, go to the cutscene 1 and decide whether you want to create a new origin. So let's get these guys off here and turn the page. And here's the cutscene from the sinking ship. You arrive to the scene, to the standoff between magisters and a prisoner. The sorcerers, Daka managed to remove the source collar, which is this thing, because when you flip it over, it gives you the reroll, or after any during combat, you may, or while resting, you may spend this to use a source skill. Which I don't know what a source skill is. I don't know if it's one of these. These are skill cards, I believe. Yeah, these are source skills. Okay. Stand down, or you attract the beast darken. You fool! And the roar magical energy draws the attention of a kraken. The ship sinks. Remove the game box divider so you can access all the game components. That was in the box itself because it came with this warning symbol. So this came on top of it, and that's what it's talking about. Stop, do not unpack the game until you read this. Of course, you had to remove it to get the cards for the tutorial out, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Each player may create a new level 1 origin or keep playing the tutorial origin. To create a new origin, choose any level 1 talent, a one-hand or two-handed item from the level 1 items deck, a chest item from level 1 item deck, 4 different level 1 skills from the combination of schools. When everyone's ready, resolve to interlude phase, then go to the shipwreck. Spending gold during the interlude phase, the party can visit the merchant to spend gold items. The steps to visit the merchant are listed on the interlude board. And there's the interlude board on the back. So there is the different things of the merchant and stuff to that effect. When everyone ready to resolve the interlude phase, then go to the shipwreck, spending gold. Okay, if you have the Nemesis expansion, you may reveal journal card N1 to make demonology skills available. Okay. And then here's the page I showed you earlier that has all the different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically there are 10 figures that come in the box. And let me just check to make sure that's correct now that I've opened my mouth and said that. And yes. Yes, there are 10 figures in the box. But when you look at my unboxing, you'll see this. But it came with this box and a smaller box. But you would think that there would be a whole lot of figures in here like there was for OrcQuest. That's it. That's all that's in there. One big dragon and big tentacles and chickens. That's it. There's not any of the little characters that we just fought. Kind of weird, right? All right, so then we would move on to the next one if we decided to keep the same characters, and we'd be in this level 1 thing here, and we'd be going into the shipwreck.
Okay, let's talk about Divinity Original Sin and my final thoughts after playing the 2 tutorial missions. As you can probably tell from my lack of enthusiasm, I don't think it was worth the 4-year wait. I mean, the figures are okay. There's 10 figures there. The rest of them are all bosses. And I don't know. It's why would you give me 10 million bosses and no figures that I'm going to play with a lot more often than the bosses themselves? Plus, I just played, I think, 3 missions of the Orc Quest one because they both came in pretty much at the same time from Kickstarter. I think I waited 5 years for that one. I don't know. But either way, it was 4 or 5 years for each one of these. And I don't really think that this one was worth the wait. The Orc Quest one, I enjoyed a lot more. It's very simple. We have a card, and they have powers, and you can upgrade those powers. And after you use them, you turn it over. And it's kind of like what they did with Tenera's Adventures, which I think is very simple, and it's very effective game mechanic, is that when you use the power, you turn it over, and you can't use it again until you finish using the others. And I like that a lot. And like I said, it's very simple. And OrQuest has the colored dice as well. That's a lot of what people are doing now. But the whole cooldown thing doesn't really work for me. Plus, I don't feel like any kind of impending doom is happening or anything like that, because I literally have a location. My characters are on the location. They're not maneuvering around me. I'm not maneuvering around. There's no tactical advantage to battling. It's just like, okay, they roll dice, you roll dice, and that's it. I'm not positioning myself in a certain way. I'm not using the two characters in tandem to do different things. I'm just rolling dice. At least with Trudvang, we were going, and it was more of an exploration game than it was a battling game. The battling was just there to get the story moving, I felt. And when you were killing things, you were doing it because it was part of the story for the most part. There was elements, of course, where you're just laying down, characters, and they were moving around. But they were moving around so that they had to stop. They were stopping you from doing the mission. So I felt like, and then when you killed something like a boss or whatever else, it was because they were holding somebody captive or whatever. And I had gotten rid of that game too. But I liked that game a lot better. That game got repetitive as well. I felt this one, and even though that one has a far better story, and I feel that this is already repetitive, and I'm just in the tutorial. So I'm not having fun with this game. It wasn't even excited about going back to it. The whole book thing doesn't really work for me. I prefer having a world map where I can lay down tiles, kind of like we do in Nemesis. At least there, I feel like I'm moving around without rooms. Here it's just dots to a piece of art. It doesn't even feel like I'm going through rooms. That's why the map thing works better, because at least then it's connected, and I feel like I'm going to different forests that may have different environments and things like that. Where here, I'm just going to another room, but it's connected by a dot to another room. There's no environment change. There's no nothing, except for putting down the oily, and I still think that oily and warm token is messed up. I think they misprinted that. And Trudvang was obviously a more superior game to this, and I sold that one already too. So I won't. First of all, this game is a monster. It fills up just way too much space for what it is, and I just don't think I'm going to get it to the table because there are so many other games that are better. And I'm not even hooked into the storyline at this point because the storyline doesn't tell me anything, right? I'm captive and I'm, in a shipwreck. There's no stakes at this point. I know that I'm only going through the tutorial, but right from the tutorial, you should feel invested in the world. So, the world is on turmoil because this big, baddie, is involved with enslaving everyone. And, the only thing we find out is that because there's source magic, you've been arrested. That's it. There's nothing going on. Your sister is imperiled. One of your team members. There's so many other ways to write this thing where you can get invested, and you're just not because you have source magic and you're arrested. That's it. So arrested by who? Arrested by why? It's what's the impending doom? He's going to enslave half the world. And who is this guy? And does he have anything personal to you? That all that is just missing for no reason. It was plenty of space to encapsulate this thing where if you don't get out at a certain time, then this person is going to die. And you've got to get to shore as quickly as possible. But no, it's just. It's just, I'm walking around killing things. I'm walking around killing things. And, I escaped to go to the next location. So I can do everything all over again. And there's, everything's meaningless. And that's the tutorial's the perfect place to get people involved. And it just doesn't. And I don't even know if I'm going to play the next one. Plus, I have to talk to them because it didn't come with one of the pegs. So I have one of my pieces is missing. So I can't even sell it at this point because whoever I sell it to is going to sell things missing. Damn it, man. So yeah, so that's it for me on this. I wasn't very excited about it. It was extremely overwhelming even when I opened the box to have all those cards there. And again, Trudvang had that too, where we had cards that were telling stories. The other one, I forgot the name of it, that has the physical objects that go in each room. It's like a rune quest or something like that. I forgot what it was called. But that had a list of cards too that you're telling stories and things to that effect. But here I just felt completely overwhelmed. The whole bottom of the box is all cards. So somebody just overproduced this game and didn't really go into why you wanted to play the game. What's propelling me to play this game that has, repetitive. Move over here, attack, explore. Move over here, attack, explore. That's it. And again, Trudvang did it better, and it was exactly the same game. At least the locations can, you can slot locations. I like that idea. Here I'm turning a page, and I'm turning a page, and I'm turning a page, and yeah. And again, it doesn't give me any tactical battling. Nothing. Where, again, in Trudvang, I'm not a big fan of the bag, but it was a sense of suspense with the bag because by pulling more, like the push your luck mechanic in that one, I could actually destroy the amount of damage I was doing. I could actually lessen it by pushing my luck. And here I don't even have that. I'm rolling dice, and if I don't kill him, my partner will kill him hopefully. And if I'm downed, I'll just get right back up. I don't think it would get that. And then the hit points were so enormous. Like one guy had 28 hit points. I was like, so obviously the whole battling mechanic is broken if you have a non-boss that has that many hit points. I mean, that's crazy. For anything to have, more than 10 to 12 hit points, something's broken. And you got to fix it, So, and if you're, one-shotting these bad guys, that's the other thing is I have to look back at the instructions, the rules, very round. Am I getting, the rounds are very, very quick. And I think that you almost have to get those action points of a round, and I'm attacking, multiple times, and that's why they made I think the hit points as large as they are, because you're able to do the amount of attacking so often. Like I can do 3 or 4 attacks in one round, and you shouldn't be able to do that. That's the other thing is I could. It also tells you in the rule book that I could attack with my knife several times. So anyway, yeah, I'll be selling this game. So if anybody wants to buy it, let me know. Yeah, I'll stick with the OrcQuest one, and I have some other. I want to jump back into Nemesis also. I think I might do a. Let me know if there's any of Nemesis or OrcQuest or whatever else that you'd like to see a playthrough of. I'll do those on camera. All right. Thank you very much for watching, guys. And if you guys are into, fantasy books or whatever else or sci-fi, then remember I'm also an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and a comic book writer. And we're going to be doing a late pledge on my last comic book, Lords of LA. And as far as gaming is concerned, Mark Spears, who is a comic artist, he does like Spawn covers and things to that effect, and we're doing a classic Monsters deck builder, Area Control. So if you're a fan of either one of those, it's going to be a very, very simple game. It's going to be like less than a 10-page rule book, and only about this big, so not 50 pages. All right, guys. Hope you guys had a great Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll leave my box unboxing video for this game as well in the end here. All right, thanks, guys. All right, bye.